The great thing about picking in different towns is different towns have different stores, and different stores have different snacks. Like the Cumberland Farms Farmhouse Bakery Ultimate Peanut Butter Crispy Bar. Cumberland quality at Cumberland Farms. These things are really delicious, but the chocolate does melt in the summer. Luckily, it's only April. It is a gorgeous Tuesday, and I'm commuting to work, if you want to call it that, at noon. I used to do this commute every day at 8 in the morning, and it sucked. But it doesn't suck today. So I was starting to panic, thinking that trash picking was canceled in this town. But here's the booty from the first pile. So I just talked to the lady. They're about to put the house on the market. They're cleaning out the garage, so this is all the stuff they dumped out. Here's the view from the inside of the car. It's a lot of hardware, tools, plumbing parts, a couple of tackle boxes, a lot of cool stuff, and we'll look at it probably tomorrow when I unload the car. But now that we know that picking has not been canceled, I can continue the route instead of going home. Yay. 2 weeks ago, this route was crazy with tons of piles, but that's because they hadn't done a pickup in a month or two. This week, it's pretty light. I'm not seeing too many piles anywhere. But all it takes is 1 or 2 magical piles to make your night. I'm already pretty happy with what I found so far. The one thing that has sucked about picking during coronavirus is that there are tons of people out in the street riding bikes and playing and hanging around, so you have to be really, really careful. Picking itself isn't really that much better or worse, it's just more inconsistent, but you just got to be careful because there's so many people around. And they look at you like you're the devil incarnate because you're driving through their precious neighborhood in a car. Even though under normal circumstances, none of them are out in the street and they're always going somewhere in a car. So it's a little bit of hypocrisy, but you just got to be careful. So I just checked on my phone, the community calendar, and this town still has bulk pickup today. It hasn't been canceled. Although you would think it has been, because there aren't a lot of piles out. And while I was sitting there looking at my phone, some old lady was giving me the stink eye because I have a beat up old car that's covered with mud and has out-of-state plates, so I decided to keep on rolling. Here's another idyllic suburban street in a town that shall remain top secret. But do you see any garbage piles anywhere? Because I sure don't. Everybody's out doing yard work and riding bikes in the street and playing with their kids, and that's all wonderful. But you'd think that somebody would throw something in the garbage. Oh wait, here's a pile up here. Oh, I can see it. Right up here on the right. It's just my favorite Irishman, patio furniture. That's not for me though, so I'm gonna move on. So right now, I'm on a dead-end street, and there's a big pile, but there's also like a little kid and her very suspicious-looking grandmother. I mean, suspicious of me, so I'm trying to be discreet here. But there are some books, nothing great, and some boxes. It's got like a old stereo system in it. Some old computer monitors and stuff. Nothing interesting. Although I did find a board game at this house a couple years ago that I sold for over $100. It's one of those Dark Tower games from the 80s. You know, here's something. It's like a brass candlestick, probably from Pottery Barn. And, wow, this is something I really like. This is packing paper from IKEA. So I can use that on eBay. Another roll of that. Candlesticks always come in 2s. Here's some paper napkins. I wonder if I should take these in case of the toilet paper shortage. They're kind of dirty, so I won't. And I can see another pile down here, right on the side. But it looks like it's just a bunch of real crap. So we will not bother with that, and we will continue on our journey, like Steve Perry. All right, another dead-end street, another beautiful suburban cul-de-sac, and I just saw a couple bringing some junk out. So maybe this is one of those days where the piles are gonna come out a little later, because it's only like 2 in the afternoon right now. So it's definitely a beautiful day, but it's also definitely slim pickings. But I have found another pile here. And looks like there's a printer and a bowl, nice little lemonade pitcher, a backpack with something in it. Let's see what's in this backpack. Probably books. Feels pretty heavy. Yeah, it's like some kid's homework. I don't know, you think I should take the backpack? I always use a backpack, and I can throw his crap in the recycle bin at home. One of these wine racks. And a big boombox. I don't have much luck with boomboxes, except the real old ones. Some bedding. Wrought iron scraper thing. Little basket. Some plates. I don't know. I think I'll take the backpack, but I think I'll take the papers out of it and leave them somewhere so they don't think I'm trying to spy on this kid. So there's the backpack, and it wasn't full of a kid's homework. It was like legal paperwork. So I stuffed it into a bag. And here's this nice little thing from Pier 1 Imports. Like a little table caddy and a couple little baskets. So that's not a bad score, I guess. So the dude came out, and I told him thanks for the backpack, and also he might want to do something with those papers because they seemed a little sensitive. And he said, thank you. Usually people are pretty nice. So I hope it all works out for him. Right now, I'm outside an undisclosed 7-Eleven, which is a couple miles up the street from the normal 7-Eleven that's on the route. But the one that's on the route closed their soda fountain down because of coronavirus. And how can you make it through a whole picking route without a giant plastic cup of Diet Mountain Dew? Oh my God, I would die. I have just spent way too much time in the supermarket trying to find snacks. There was nothing good on sale. Nothing on the day old bakery rack, so I got these Ritz crackers with cheese filling and jelly crimpets, whatever those are. Yeah, good luck to me, these crappy snacks. So, okay, I was wrong. These Ritz crackers with cheese flavored filling are absolutely delicious. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm seeing some piles. This guy always throws out a few things. So I'm gonna take this, sort of like a milk crate thing. It also has some kind of old unidentified radio in it, so I'm gonna take that too. And a mower blade for scrap, and a little clamp to clamp things. That is definitely one of the more interesting crates I've ever found. Like a weird design on the corners. That's really nice. There are definitely a few piles on this street. Nothing great, but I think it's an indication that picking has not been canceled. This pile up here consists of a planter with some junk in it. Anything good? Nah, nothing. All right, here's what the jelly crimpets look like. They're kind of weird looking cakes. You can see the jelly insertion holes on the bottom. I would say this cake is adequate. It's not great, but it's all right. And this is the part of the day where you don't want to get your hands too dirty, because then you're touching your food with your dirty hands. But I used my right hand at that last pile, and this is my left hand. So it's coming in on like about 4 o'clock now. And this is the only pile I've seen in a little while. But I think this radio is kind of good. It's an old National Panasonic, like, shortwave radio. I don't know if it works or anything, but I'm gonna definitely take that. It's the National Panasonic model RF3000A. Let's look it up. There's one listed on eBay. The guy's trying to get 55 bucks for it plus 50 shipping, so I don't know. I suspect it would sell, but probably for cheaper than that. Still not a bad find if it's worth like 20 bucks. Look, there are 2 piles. Which one should I go to first? I'll start on this side of the street. We got trophies and binders. And I have found a lot of these empty Burns-O-Matic cans. Now let's see what's over here. Let's see. A couch, another couch, and a big lamp that I do not want. So here's one of few piles that I found in the last hour. I just bumped into some other pickers. They wanted to talk about COVID-19. It's not really that interesting of a subject to me. What is interesting, however, is that this grill still has the grates in it. And this is a Weber grill. So these are going to be stainless steel. Most likely. So that's like the first $2 I've made in an hour. Look how grimy these are, though. That's a lot of steaks right there. I got to carry it one-handed like a pizza because it's really heavy. I can't grip it with my glove. This is not exactly the scrap load that you want to have after 3 hours of picking, but times are tough and we'll take whatever we got out in the streets. We're all hanging in there together. Nah, I'm just bullshitting. This is fine. So here's a pile that really doesn't make sense. It's like a little couple of buckets and some fishing rods and a kiddie swing. Oh, and then 2 antique vices. Yeah, we love finding antique vices. Or even vices that aren't antique. New vices, old vices. Vices are fantastic. Because you can use them, you can sell them. Some of them are worth a fortune. So, open up the trunk and put our 2 vices. You know, maybe I'll put them in the basket. That's kind of cool, right? A basket full of vices in my trunk. And don't forget the key. So there are a lot more piles coming out now. And here's a pile that's always here, but always sucks. You're gonna find this in every town. Like people who always have a big pile, but there's just never anything good in it. I don't know if they do that on purpose, or if they put it out really early and the other pickers come and grab it. But other than this kind of crappy rattan chair, there's nothing good here. Actually, I may have spoken too soon. So look at this. An entire box full of toy cars. Some of which look like they're probably from the 80s. Definitely gonna snatch that up. I would officially like to go on record and apologize for saying that these people never have anything good in their pile. Look at all these good cars. Maybe we'll find a red line in here. We'll look through it tomorrow. Here's one of the cars, a little roller. And I just wanted to confess that I had to shoot that clip twice. Because when I originally came up on the box, it had a address label on it. I didn't want you to see anyone's address. So I tore the address label off, put the box back in the garbage, and shot the clip again. Sneaky, sneaky. But you gotta protect people's privacy. Here's a pile that's got some furniture. I don't know if anyone really cares about furniture, but sometimes it disappears. They don't really have anything else though. Garbage bags. The surprising attack of Jabba the Puppet. Okay. Originally I didn't stop at this pile because I thought somebody was here, but it's actually just the homeowner. Got their car in front with the trunk open. So let's see what we got. Pretty much nothing. Interesting books. Economics, calculus, accounting. I'm not really ready for a new book just yet, but when I need one, I'll find one in the curb. Let's see, some shoes, we don't need those. A pewter cup, we'll take that. And the Technosonic Weight Talker. It's a scale. It's a talking scale. Oh my god. I'm gonna take that, but you notice I neatened up the pile as I do. Check it out, it takes AA batteries, and guess what I have at home? Plenty of AA batteries. Here's a pile. It's not great. It's got a couple of these Razor scooters. I normally don't take these because they're virtually worthless, but that one's wild. I've never seen one like that. It's like half longboard, half Razor scooter. I'm taking that. And let's see if there's anything in this instrument case. This is a rich town, so maybe there is. Doesn't really feel like anything though. Well, look at that. A cheap trumpet. And that's the load so far from the left side anyway. Not too bad for a really slow night. I moved those fur things out of the way. Found a bunch of video game cases. Pretty much just empty ones. Sometimes it's worth digging through these boxes to see if there's more in there than the cases, but this one, it's not worth it. Should I take this thing? Some kind of Super Bowl memorabilia? Yeah, whatever. This pile has a little kid's pirate ship, which I'm not going to take. You know, just like Dee Snider. We're not going to take it, the pirate ship. But it's also got a box. What's in the box? Some really kind of skeevy looking knives and forks and stuff. I don't know, should I take that? Will anyone buy that? What the hell is this thing? I think there's got to be someone who paid $2 for this. Somebody went to Bed Bath & Beyond and looked at the price of cutlery. So now they want some used cutlery. From from Caldor. Yeah, I probably shouldn't take this, but I will. I decided to put it in the trunk though, you know, because it's kind of gross. These boxes look like they're about the right size for LP records. Let's see what's really in them. Flight Principles, Airlines War Training Institute. Wow, that's like a training manual for World War II pilots or something. This box has a really crappy Criterion speaker and a mat cutter and a thing, like a dish for a light. And this other box has what looks like a magician's wand, but it's actually a flute or a recorder or something. So we'll take that. Another crappy speaker. What's piled in here? Some, I don't know. Those are interesting tiles. I hope they're not asbestos though. This box has photo albums in it. Think there's any photos in them? Oh wait, it's not photo albums. Is it? I don't know. Boston Zoo 1946. These are all photo negatives. And this book has a bunch of upside down photos in it. So upside down photos aren't worth as much as right side up photos, but I'll take them anyway. We'll get half price for those. One box of junk. The car is definitely getting full-ish, but the bike rack is shockingly empty. Let's go find a bike. Here's a grocery bag with a faucet in it. That's something worth taking. It's like half a pound of brass maybe. So here's a really typical pile. A barbecue grill and some video game controllers. The first time I saw one of these from far away, I thought it was a real guitar. Some of them look really real. This barbecue grill's real. Real scrap metal. And right now there's a real train going by, and my cooling fan on my car is making a real lot of noise. So audio on this might not be great, but Those are great. So just a minute ago, I said, let's go find a bicycle. And look what we found. This really, really cool Raleigh Marathon. Let me pull this out into the light. This is one of those bikes with a 26 or a 27 in back and a 24 in front. The shrimpy little frame. The coolest bike I've found in weeks. And then I think I'm going to take this Haro. It's not a great Haro, but it's something. Maybe I'll ride it at the skate park. So there they are. A goofy little road bike and a mean green machine. Pretty excited, really. I just got to find some wire to tie these to the rack a little more securely. But I'll find that later, hopefully. I found a bunch of good stuff in this pile like 2 weeks ago. So let's see what they got today. That's a real cool dustpan. I will take that. Let's see. Photo lamp. I don't know that I really have any use for that. Piece of cast iron to go with my thing. Ton of Tupperware. If you ever need Tupperware, just drive around the curb. Empty toolboxes. Some folding chairs. A steamer. Some boots. So I will definitely take the you know, maybe I'll go into these garbage bags. They're not aggressively tied. Nah, there was nothing in there. It's all right. Just for reference, this bike has 20-inch wheels, and that's how big the dustpan is. The biggest dustpan I ever saw. I see a barbecue grill way, way, way down there. Should I go check it for grates? All right, let's see what we got here. It's a Weber. It's a pretty nice Weber. The Weber Summit Gold. Ooh, we like that. Those are stainless steel grates. So they're worth like 15 cents a pound instead of 5. And then all this stuff is also stainless steel. Those are hard to get out. I don't remember if these are stainless or not, so I'll just take them anyway. And the lid is like half stainless, half aluminum, but that means it's either dirty stainless or dirty aluminum, so really not worth taking. So we'll close her up and move on. So here's something you don't find all the time. It's like a computer server, some kind of rack. You can pop these things open and pull them out. What size hard drive is this? 300 gigabytes, 900 gigabytes in this thing. That's not the end of the world. And this seems like a good place to get rid of this Cube Street amplifier from before. You know, big thing, big thing. And this might be the software for that drive rack that we just got. So that's a good thing. I don't want this thing to get damaged, but I don't want it to kill me either, so I've got it kind of propped up in the car. Maybe later I'll put it in the back seat somewhere behind all the other junk. This is what I call a 3-pile street, because there's 3 piles on the street. Here's this old rim. Is it straight? I don't know, I can't really tell with one hand. And then look at this Ruggard, like a brand new camera case. So we'll take the wheel, take the camera case. Let's see, a couple of tray tables from IKEA. I don't think we want those. A shoebox full of electronic stuff. I don't really want that. One of these little micro boom boxes. They're not really worth anything though. Maybe like 10 bucks. I just noticed this wheel has a lot of broken spokes, so we're gonna leave this in their pile. And we're gonna take our thing and go across the street to pile number 3, where there are a lot of keyboards and a Gatorade thing. A wind-up monkey thing. Do you want that? Oh yeah, we do. Chinpokomon cards. Okay, we'll take those. This thing looks like it's actually made of brass. There's also a Sony tripod, but this one has a handle on it where you can start and stop your camcorder. It's like a remote control tripod. That's pretty wild, I'll take that. And here's a beer sign that promotes an irresponsible lifestyle. I don't always drink beer, But when I do, I prefer to drink a lot of it. Me, I like 1 or 2 Blue Moons. I'm a baby. So there's a pile of junk. We'll put it in the car. I just remembered I dropped this paper tag off this bag earlier. And so I'm not gonna leave that on the street. I don't really need it, but I'm not gonna just leave it there. This is the first time I've ever seen this. It's a sewing machine that's in a cabinet, but the cabinet has no legs and is on its side. I think I'm gonna take that. This thing does not want to come out, so I'm gonna have to take it out from the bottom. A couple little screws here that hold it onto the, and then it should really just fall right off the brackets. I had to move my Tasty Cakes out of the way to make room for this thing now. Oh my god. Well, the nightmare continues because I just sold all of my blow molds this morning on Craigslist. And look what we got. Blow molds, and they're not even broken. I mean, I hate to say this because it sounds counterproductive, but I like when they're broken so then I don't have to take them. Ugh. Please save me. I'm really not sure why I'm going to go and look at this pile because it looks like it's probably been picked through already. Just some boxes of random crap. Golf balls. Do I really want a bag of golf balls? Yes, I do. These chairs are really cool, but I don't have much luck selling these type of chairs. So, do we want the golf balls? Yeah, why not? I haven't taken a bag of golf balls in a while. There they are. Kind of running out of room though. I'm gonna go check out this pile because it's got bike tires in it. Not that I need some raggedy old bike tires, but sometimes where there are tires, there are other parts. But I do not see any other parts. I do see this really cool old lamp that's totally broken. It's got these grape things, grape clusters. I think I'm gonna take this. Probably someone can use those clusters as parts. Well, this is a big pile, but I doubt if I'm gonna find anything good here. I don't know, maybe it's already been gone through anyway. Some kitchen glassware, canisters, things like that. Like a jug. In here is some blushing bride's old wedding dress. And this is like a big teddy bear. Aw, he wants a kiss. Or she. Are teddy bears male or female? Anyway, all that we got is that, and of course you know I'm gonna cut that. You know, last weekend I found over 100 pounds of cords. Tonight I've found this. So you might think that we have some real great mid-century modern furniture here, but I can tell that this table is by IKEA because I have one in my house, and therefore these chairs are gonna be IKEA. Maybe they're not IKEA. They're cool chairs, but they're just not, they don't have a name on them. They're not really good enough for me to actually sell, so I'm not putting them in the car. So this pile has some skateboards in it. I don't know. This is a World Industries skateboard. And this is a Sector 9 skateboard. But these are both pretty beat up, so I'm just gonna leave them there. And there's a Video Sonar. I don't know. That's something I will take. Let's see. A bunch of shelf stuff and big washers and hooks and things. I don't know. I don't really want the shelf hooks, but I really want these big washers. Put those in there. Arrow staples. It's going pretty well, man. How are you doing?
Good. These brackets.
Yeah. I like the washers too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, thank you very much for those.
Yeah.
That was a little bit awkward, because I don't know if that guy noticed that I was recording on video or not. I mean, I didn't record his face or anything, but just a little bit weird. He was a nice guy, though. All right, so here's another skateboard, and let's see what it is. Kryptonics
Those aren't really that good. So I'm not gonna take it. There's a bunch of people talking in the end of this cul-de-sac, and one of them has a camera. So who knows what they're recording. But I know what I'm recording. This stuff. So I'm guessing this box is empty. Yeah, totally empty. Look at this. It's like bars to put over a window, but if the window had a AC unit in or something. That is so cool. I guess I'll take this thing. This is scrap metal anyway. But that's about it for this pile. Construction debris. An old chair. These kind of chairs really aren't worth anything. Some wood. Some bags full of brush. And this is a 6-hour scrap load, by the way. Not really doing too well with the scrap tonight. So we've definitely gotten to the point in the evening where there's a lot of piles out, but there's also a bunch of pickers and everything's kind of been scrubbed out. You know, the piles are somewhat picked to death. So I'm gonna drive around for a little while more, but maybe the next pile I find, we'll call it quits at that one for the video. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I think we found a suitable last pile of the night. And I like this one because it has not only a milk crate, and milk crates are fun to find, and they're kind of useful to sit on and stuff, but in the milk crate is a bunch of pipe wrenches. So we'll take this stuff and throw it in the trunk. So we'll call it quits there. I'm gonna stay out for a while longer, but that'll be the end of the video for tonight. And I'll see you in the morning. We'll go through all this stuff and see what we found. Okay, one more pile. Because, you know, it's a little concrete kitty cat. Just needs some new glass eyes. You wanna come home with me, kitty cat? Of course you do. So it's tomorrow morning. It's not really sunny, unfortunately, but here's some of the other stuff that I found. I stayed out for another few hours at least. Let's look at some of this crap. I want to start with what's inside the car. It's like this weird chopper bike. I had to take this thing apart to fit it in the car because it wasn't going to fit in the bike rack. Check that out. It's like a copy of a Stingray frame, some big high-rise handlebars, and a factory pre-bent fork, and a lot of spokes. Looks kind of like a cheap bike, but I bet with some cleaning it would look really neat. And then here on the back is this Peugeot Mixty, which is just really beautiful, and a Raleigh Sports. And let me pop the wheels back on both of those. That turned out to be a real pain in the ass because somebody put this speedometer on this Peugeot. Try getting this thing back in the front wheel. But wow, what a cool Peugeot that is. I'm glad I stayed out for a couple more hours because this is like one of the last things I found. And I found this and the chopper bike over here in the same pile. That's pretty weird. I had to put the Raleigh wheels in the trunk. Get out, get out. I found this one in a different pile and somebody had already taken the wheels off of it, but they have the nuts still on the axles, which is kind of rare. Usually if you find a bike with no wheels, the nuts are long gone. As far as I can tell, this is a 1972 Raleigh Sports. It's the women's model, which is less desirable than the men's, but it's in really nice condition. Couldn't figure out how to route the 3-speed cable. Normally it's gonna have like a bracket or something, but other than the fact that it's dirty, it's really clean, if that makes any sense. And this is the scrap load we got. I found these couple of copper pipes. This is like the last thing I found, probably about 10:30 at night. And some aluminum stuff. It's not really a great trunk load, but it's all right. And I want to take a look at some of the stuff that we found in that first pile, because I really didn't look at that stuff on the curb. But first, here's that trumpet. I think I can blow at least one note out of this thing. Maybe not. So there's a lot of plumbing stuff, you know, little tubes and pipes. This is the kind of stuff I probably won't need anytime soon, so I'll just put it in a box and forget about it. But it's handy to have. And then this one box had this whole roll of copper tubing, so that can go to the scrapyard. And here's this tackle box that actually has fishing tackle in it, I think. You know, it's got some lures, Most of this stuff's probably worthless, but it does have a, you know, a cheap multi-tool, a bunch of other stuff like that. And, you know, there's a lot of guys who fish and who are broke, so they'll buy boxes of stuff like this. And then there's a bunch of electrical stuff, switches, things like that, plugs, and these Bernzomatic tanks and this torch. Let's see if this thing works. I couldn't figure out how to get that to work, so we'll just put it in the box. Then there's this really big tub full of stuff. It's got a lot of tools and things in here. It looks like a decent tape measure, a bunch of Craftsman wrenches, and a lot of like spray lube, spray adhesive, which, you know, that's something actually I need. Wire brushes, some fittings, another tape measure, you know, some tubing benders. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Masking tape. So that's going to be a bucket of stuff that I can use some of it and I can punt the rest of it. Then there's this whole thing full of these like little electrical bits and pieces. That spilled in the car a couple of times, but this thing did not spill in the car, luckily. It's a unit. All kinds of screws, nuts, bolts. You got to be careful how much of this stuff you save around your house, otherwise you're going to be one of those guys. But I mean, look at this stuff. Bunch of little sockets in there. And this box is fun. It's got like a couple of soldering torches that you can put on those cans of propane. Or is that propane or butane? A plunger. Hope that wasn't used. Wow, a whole bag full of these, ouch, staples, a whole lot of little wire nuts and things. You know, this whole box really isn't worth much, but a few bucks. Now I want to look at this box full of toy cars, and there's a lot of stuff in here, Hot Wheels, Matchbox, so I'm going to rummage through it and show you a few of the interesting things that I find. So I didn't find any red lines, but this is real cool, this Team Matchbox. It's like a transporter vehicle. Got gull-wing doors that open. And this is Ertl's version of a transformer. You know, it pops open, turns into a robot guy. I've always liked these Hot Wheels cab over trucks. These things are real cool. They come in all kinds of different colors and styles. Couple of Corvettes, but the best of the best, the Subaru Brat cheap Hong Kong friction car or wind-up car. I mean, come on, who makes a Subaru Brat anymore? That thing's insane. I also wanted to check out this tackle box because it doesn't sound like it has tackle in it, so let's pop it open and see. Whoa, fittings, brass. Wow, that is not what I expected. Look at that. I guess our scrap metal load just got a little bit better for last night. Look at those nice little buckets of copper and brass. Copper and brass. Here's that talking scale, and I did wedge 7 AA batteries into it. This thing's crazy.
My battery is low. Enter your memory number. Please step on the scale.
I don't want to know how much I weigh, but let's see how much this box of fittings weighs.
My battery is low. Enter your memory number. Please step on the scale. Your weight is 17 pounds. Have a nice day.
And with that, I think we'll end the video right here. Thanks so much for riding along with me. I had fun. I hope you did too. Until next time, thanks for watching.